Diary of a Kraut Man. Britain, do you remember the times when our ancestors were so chummy they married cousins just for the heck of it? Our lots of great but not always great grandparents were literally thick as thieves. Also, Die Heubart is supposed to be a Welsh name. It literally means the beard of hay, which was how Germans called their pubes. There's a book by Stuart Laycock, husband to Mary Lavage, I assume, where he lists the 22 countries Britain has not abused, aggressed, assaulted, badgered, barged into, bashed, battered, bedeviled, berated, beset, besieged, blasted, blistered, blitzed, bombarded, booted, breached, broken and entered, bugged, burglarized, burst in, busted, butted in, charged, chased, chopped down, clocked, clipped, clubbed, conquered, crashed, descended upon, dogged, embarrassed, fallen on, harmed, harassed, hassled, harried, hit, hurt, impugned, infected, infested, infiltrated, interfered with, interrupted, invaded, jumped on, kicked, knocked out cold, laid into, larruped, lit into, looted, maltreated, marauded, meddled with, molested, mocked, muscled in, occupied, overrun, overwhelmed, penetrated, permeated, perplexed, pervaded, pestered, picked on, pillaged, plundered, pounced upon, punched, raided, raped, ravaged, reamed, ridden, robbed, ruined, wrung, shot down, slapped around, slugged, stampeded, stolen everything not nailed to the floor from, stormed, struck, swarmed over, trashed, trespassed, torn apart, vilified, violated, walloped, worked over and over and over despite the billions of no votes from millions of people. And the book is called All the Countries We've Ever Invaded and the Few We Never Got Around to. The book details how Britain's imperial prong shafted 171 of the 193 countries in existence today, posting a batting average of .886. That is akin to 9 women football teams in a hotel and penetrating 8 of them, often over hundreds of years. I am aware Mr. Laycock is the messenger, but what tone does he strike? Let us have a look at the introduction's second to last paragraph. It seems to me that some of the things we have done around the world are self-evidently wrong, like our deep involvement into the slave trade, which one later campaign against slavery in the 19th century only makes up for to a small extent. Some are self-evidently right, and there's a wide range in between. In some small way, it is a bit like your own life. There are things you've done that you're ashamed of. There are things you've done that you're proud of. There are things you've done that seemed like a good idea at the time but don't now. And there are things that you've done that seemed like a good idea at the time and still seem like a good idea. Whether wrong or right, all are interesting because they are part of our history, the history of a nation that dragged itself out of a small, cold, wet island somewhere off the mainland of Europe to make a mark, for better or worse, on every corner of the globe. One would think he should be detained for this paragraph alone. It gets better, and by better I mean 2 paragraphs above. This book is most definitely not intended to be any kind of moral judgment on Britain's history or the British Empire. From a British perspective, it is still very easy to see our empire as a civilizing force spreading democracy and moderation across the world, and there is of course some truth in that view. But as you read in these pages endless stories of raids and invasions, it is also easy to see another view, one that would perhaps more easily be accepted outside of our borders. Arrest that man, right fucking now. Put him next to David Cameron. Holy freaking shit. We know tragedy plus time equals book deal, but I thought there was far more time involved. Let us have a look. Britain pulled out of India in 1947. The book came out in 2012. Given Laycock's blueprint in about, in about -6 years, there will be a book from German author Stefan Liegeschwanz. All the Jews we've ever murdered and the few we never got around to. From a Liegeschwanz interview. I don't understand the fuss really. It is all in good spirit. We tried to get the upper hand on those pesky Jewish lads and ladettes, and oh my, did we ever. Can't say we missed too many. Tip of the hat to those who got away. Better luck next time, if you know what I mean. I must take my leave now, as I am having tea with the Archduke of Flarfenzargen. We are getting together for our weekly game of Pin the Yellow Star on the Underling. I am having a yank of your chain, obviously. We shoot them on sight. Buy the book, toodles. What do you think would happen then? It would be the shitstorm to end all shitstorms. And what's happened to Laycock? Zilch. I shall read you 2 paragraphs with a German accent. This book is most definitely not intended to be any kind of moral judgment on Germany's history or the Third Reich. From a German perspective, it is still very easy to see the Reich as a civilizing force, spreading gentrification and moderation across the world. There is, of course, some truth in that view. But as you read in these pages endless stories of concentration camps and invasions, it is also easy to see another view, one that would perhaps be more easily accepted outside our borders. I feel I feel that quite a lot of you are wanting to throw things now. A very appropriate reaction. If you could also please extend it to the perps.